Hello everyone, the 316 here with another Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse review. This time I got a triple review, first time I've done one of these. We got three different flashes from various different years. But on the left we have the most newest released. We have the Wally West Flash. In the middle we have the Walmart exclusive Dark Flash. Don't have the box for that. And on the right we have the Garrick Flash. All of these retailed for about $22.99. I got this one off of Walmart.com. This one I got at a toy show, and then this one I got at Best Buy for about I think $13 or $14. So not too bad on all of these. Let's go ahead and start off with the oldest one. I don't have a card for it or the accessories that it originally came with. All we have is the figure here, which is Dark Flash. I did a very quick YouTube short on this in a haul video, but I wanted to take a quick look at it. So one thing I want to point out is I actually did swap out the neck peg for the one on the Batfleck. Batfleck had a larger, or rather taller neck peg, and he had a shorter neck peg, and well, I can do this with the figure now. I can do that. But you know, it's kind of a zombie-like type of figure, so I think it actually benefits this figure rather than detracts from it. But yeah, it's just a nice-looking Flash. It was a Walmart exclusive. On eBay, I've seen it go for upwards of $40+. But nice to have a you know, one by itself. Sucks I don't have the accessories or the trading card, but hey, I don't mind. It's not a big deal. You know, these guys come with enough accessories, which we'll see soon enough. So yeah, that's a good figure. It is a unique sculpt. They haven't reused this or used it prior to this. And I'll probably be putting him with the Blackest Night figures in my collection. I don't actually have any of the Blackest Night figures near me to do a comparison to them, but he'd fit in just fine. But yeah, that's Dark Flash. Wanted to get him out of the way real quick. I'm just going to relegate him to back there. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at these two figures' accessories, starting off with their trading cards. Here's the back of both trading cards. Wally West on the left, Garrick on the right. And here is the front as well. Normally I would take a look at the boxes, but you know, same box, he just has a gold label, and the back of the box just shows the trading card image. One thing I will point out, here's the barcode for the Wally West Flash. If you're looking for that at Walmart, there you go. Get those boxes out of the way. Nothing else to see with those. Alright, now we can get into the accessories. So Garrick here comes with two like karate chop running hands and two fisted hands, which are unique to him. They're like half gloves, where they don't cover the fingers. So yeah, he comes with those fists, and he comes with 4 different effect pieces, which you can just wrap around his various limbs. These ones are okay. They do feel a bit brittle. They're not going to break, but they just feel kind of brittle. But yeah, you can just put this on either the arms or the legs like that, just to give you an idea. I don't really love these. I do like the color. They're yellow but slightly tinted orange. Trying to figure out where each of these goes is kind of a pain, but you know, they fit on well enough if you get them in a good spot. But you know, you can stick him down here like that. You know, you can have him do like a chop, you know, like so. You know, he's going down, right? Gives you an idea. Yeah, those are his lightning effect pieces. And Wally's effect pieces, I don't know if these are new, but what made me puzzled about these effect pieces is why didn't they just reuse the ones from the Rebirth Flash? Because he has all of the holes from Rebirth Flash, so them using these type of effect pieces was just a strange decision. I don't know why they used these ones. So he's got 2 smaller ones and 2 larger ones. I'm guessing the larger ones more easily go around the legs, or the, you know, the hips, the thighs, that area. And then, you know, these ones, they kind of go around the arms. Like they're thin enough to do that, as you can see. But I don't know. You could use it as like a like he's throwing a lightning bolt, right? Like just you can get it in there. Obviously, I can't get it right now for some reason. You get the idea. But yeah, he has the holes on his boots, his forearm, and one in the back because the Rebirth figure originally used them. Again, strange choice. Don't know why they did that. So Wally on the left here is mostly a reuse of the Rebirth Flash. The only new things here is the emblem logo, which has the one horizontal line and the two vertical lines, and his head sculpt is new. It's a little creepy. In person, I actually do think it looks better, especially when I angle it down a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. Garrick over here, as far as I can tell, has all new sculpt, minus the the balls in his wrists. Those seem to be reused, which is fine. I don't think it actually detracts at all. I don't notice it that much. This is how Mcfarlane should use these ball joints if he has to. Make everything else around it new, but hide it like this. That's the way to go about it. Jay is much taller than Wally here. He is taller than Dark Flash as well. Jay is just like a beefcake, I guess. He's tall. He's got a lot of musculature. And here's Barry Flash for you, give you an idea. Once I put him in here, this face sculpt looks even more creepy. But yeah, those are all the flashes I got for you. I know I brought him in early, but this kind of gives you an idea on scaling between the flashes. Don't have reverse flash, don't have impulse, etc. But yeah, scale's good. Not too bad, not too terrible. Let's just stick Barry back in the back there. There we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at Jay first, since he's mostly new. They did get his logo on here. They also added that that I forget what it's called, like breasted, collared. I don't know, but that where it like clips into itself, so it locks in place. I forget what that's called. Lapel. I feel like it's a lapel. I don't remember the name. Anyway, I do like the face sculpt on this figure. It is very similar to Barry's now that I look at it. Although he does have the side eye, it's not that noticeable, especially if you have his head down just a little bit. I don't think that it's the worst side eye. If anything, it's probably the best use of side eye. Still sucks he has it, but one thing to note is that his color of red is actually an orangish color. Not the biggest fan of that, but it's not as bad as like the Marvel Legends Japanese Spider-Man. This one's definitely more red than that figure was. Oh, let me get out my little cardboard piece here. You can see a more accurate color, just to give you a better idea of that. So, obviously this is red, this is a bit orange tinted. His articulation's pretty good. He's got all your standard stuff. He actually has a pretty decent ab crunch. That's, for Mcfarlane figures, this is excellent. For, like a Marvel Legends or Mafex even, it's pretty bad. But, for Mcfarlane, that's pretty good. It's a decent amount. Trying to get his logo to stay, in place, it's not easy, especially when you turn it. You can see how that does. I do like that he was given alternate fisted hands. I wish that was something that this Wally had. Obviously, since this figure is mostly reuse, you'd think that they'd add another, running karate chop-like hand and another fisted hand. I'm not sure why they didn't do that. So I'm always going to have a Flash with, one open hand and one fist, whereas he gets either or either. Since I got him here, here's Wally. He looks pretty good. Again, the only thing I have a problem with is the head sculpt. It definitely looks better in person, but those promo images made it look real creepy. I think there's a few reasons for that. Most notably, I think it's the nose and the cheeks. That just looks so strange and out of place. When I see these characters in comic book form, you hardly ever see the underside of their mask where their nose pops out. So seeing the nostrils is just, it's a bit weird. Also, the cheeks are like very flush and exposed and bony, I guess. So it casts a very strange shadow. I would not be surprised if Todd reused this figure to make a Jokerized Flash. It would not surprise me. I'm just saying. Like, this would be the best head sculpt for it. Also, the eyes here underneath are painted with a like a black fade. I almost said flayed. What? A black fade. So there's a bit of shadow in there, and it gives it a little bit more depth. While I do like that, that in combination with the mouth, the cheeks, and the nose makes him look very creepy. But you know, putting his head down just a little bit, I think actually doesn't look too bad. Again, I do like this figure, and I actually really like this body sculpt. I think it's one of the earlier examples of a good Mcfarlane sculpt. While I do prefer this Flash visually, I think this one has the better colors and somewhat better proportions. I do still feel like his arms are way too long and his midsection is way too thin, but for a Flash figure, I think that that is okay because, you know, a lot of the time you're going to have him in a pseudo running pose, and, you know, it's not going to be as big of a deal, right? You know, I think Flash is one of those characters that you can get away with wonky proportions. You know, he's moving so fast, he might not look, you know, scaled proportionally, right? One thing I don't like, though, is that the way the head is integrated, because if you look at Jay here, the neck is mostly straight up. It just has a slight angle, whereas this Flash, his neck is very, very far leaning towards the right rather than straight up. And because of that, they actually put the ball joint in the top of the forehead rather than towards the middle. So when I try to do a head swap between these two, he was always looking down, and he actually had a decent range of movement on that body. His head was still too big, but just something to note. I would do a head swap, but trying to get this head off has been a pain, and I haven't damaged these ears, but it did feel like they might want to snap off, so I didn't bother with continuing that attempt. His articulation, you know, he doesn't have as much ab crunch as Jay Garrick here, but there's at least something, and there is a little at the bottom. Of course, backward articulation is great. Don't know why. Again, Mcfarlane. One thing I do want to point out is, I don't know why, but for some reason my figure can go backwards on his arm articulation. So he can actually break his arm. It's just so strange and weird. And yeah. But, you know, maybe you have one of Flash's supervillains like Gorilla Grodd or Heatwave, Captain Cold break his arm. And it can be done on both arms. Just be aware of the rubber piece there on his forearm. It might bend and warp, so just be careful about that. But yeah, I really do like this Flash figure. You know, I'm glad I at least have one version of this body mold, and it's on Wally Flash, so I don't mind that. And, you know, if you don't have a Barry Allen Flash, you could use this as a stand-in. I think the head sculpt's fine enough. The only thing you'd have to change is the logo. Otherwise, not too bad. One other thing I want to point out is this is gold paint, whereas the boots are yellow. I do wish that these bits were yellow and that was gold. It's a similar situation to the gold label Supergirl, with the logo being gold rather than yellow. I don't mind the gold being on the logo here. I do mind it being on the other pieces, though, because if we take a look at his art card one more time, you can see it's all yellow. So just something to note there. But I think it's time for our size comparisons on these three figures, and we'll put Dark Flash in the middle. Get them all nice and cozy together. There you go. Got the flashes together. I would at some point like to get an Impulse and a Wallace West Kid Flash, but oh well. These will be good enough for now. Alright, let's go ahead and look at these three figures with the other figure lines, but first of all, let's get the standard Mcfarlanes. I do. The gold label Arkham City Batman. And of course, we gotta get Atrocitus in here. I don't have any Flash villains as far as I recall. Yeah, no Flash villains on my shelf. We need some more Flash villains. Love to get me a Captain Cold in the collector's line. The Captain Boomerang looks good. I did pre-order that, but here's the Halo Spartan collection, Spartan Yoroi. Next up, we have our wrestling figures. We got the AEW Unrivaled Samoa Joe. We got the John Cena Mattel Elite 100. We can push him back here behind this Flash. There we go. Almost forgot to do it. All right, let's get our pseudo 7-inch, 6-inch scale with the Marvel Legends Scarlet Spider here. Sometimes the Marvel Legends scale a bit taller, so sometimes you can fudge it, but the G.I. Joe Classified Tiger Force Outback. We have the Star Wars Black Series Boba Fett from the retro card. And lastly, we have Dino Thunder Black from the Lightning Collection Power Rangers. I like all three of these Flash figures. I don't think that any of them are bad, just outright. I will say I think the Wally Flash is a little disappointing. I do wish that he came with those original effect pieces that the Rebirth Flash came with, especially since he still has the holes. And, you know, these ones, you can kind of make them work with the holes, but they don't really fit. I think Jay Garrick's good. Only problem with that figure I have is the color of red they chose. I do like that it's lighter, but it does look a little too orange. You know, obviously not something like this, not something like this, but trying to see if I have anything red over here that's close to that. I don't think I do. Oh well. Do wish that was a little bit more of a, just a touch more red. I think that would have worked better. I can't pick a favorite between these three Flashes or the Flashpoint Flash, of course. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below of these three Flashes, which one is your favorite, whether that be in character or in design. I think they all look good. Be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. It all helps out the channel. And as always, peace.